Hey everyone, Eric here. In this video, we're checking out the Super 100 from Master Effects. The Super 100 is a pedal that takes the DR103, the high watt amplifier, the big 100 watt, very clean platform, and it puts that preamp section into a pedal. So we have the same controls that we'll find on the high watt amps on the Super 100. And in this video, we're gonna do 3 setups. So we're gonna hear the Super 100 on a guitar that's tuned closer to standard, a guitar that's tuned way down, and bass. But before we get into the features of the pedal, let's go over the signal chain. I'm using my Parts Build Jazzmaster right here. We've got Brandon Weil noiseless Jazzmaster pickups. We're running into a few different pedals, and then at the end of the pedal chain, we're running into the Super 100. The Super 100 is going out to the Boss Katana, but it's going into the return, the effects return of the Boss Katana. So we're just using the Boss Katana as a power amp. So if we turn our glances to the pedal, we have 6 knobs, a toggle switch, and a foot switch. Of course, the foot switch is turn the pedal on, turn the pedal off. The bottom row of knobs is our EQ setting. So we have bass, middle, and treble. We have 3-band EQ. And up top is going to be our master output volume. We have a volume for the brilliant channel, which is like the brighter channel. And we have a volume for the normal channel, which is the darker channel. And this toggle switch lets you choose which of the inputs on the amp you're plugging into, because a very common thing with 4 input amps like Marshall Plexis, high watt DR103s is to jump both channels. So with this toggle switch, in the bottom position, we can just be in the brilliant channel. In the top position, we can just be in the normal channel. And then in the middle, we're mixing both of them. So again, all the same controls that you find on the amp. So let's go ahead and hear what this guitar sounds like straight into the return of the Boss Katana with no pedals on. And now with the Super 100 engaged. You can hear that it's really clean sounding, and the transients kind of really poke through, and that's like the spiky sound that you hear. What we can do is we can kind of dial it in like we would the amp. What I like to do with 4 input amps is turn the brilliant channel or the bright channel volume all the way down. So right now we're just using the normal channel, and let's hear how that sounds. Okay, sounds a little less spiky, a little more full. And from here, we can kind of fine tune the EQ. So if we turn the bass up, we're gonna get more low end, which I think is pretty helpful for a guitar that's really bright and jangly. Let's turn the mids all the way up. And then let's hear how the high sounds. It's a pretty subtle difference, and that's because we're sending a clean signal into the Super 100. So what I want to do is I want to turn on some drive. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Cyborg from Rare Buzz Effects. And this is like kind of a rat pedal. The gain I'm going to turn down to about 40%. And now we can really hear what the Super 100 is doing to the sound. So what I want to do is I want to put all the EQs back to 50%, and let's hear how each band shapes the sound. Man, I love the way that that low control sounds, especially on this guitar, which is tuned to half a step down. So this is a pretty normal tuned guitar. Let's go ahead and hear how the mid-range sounds. So that's a scoop mid-range, and it sounds really cool because it sounds very full, but in a mix, you know, you're probably gonna wanna turn the mids up. So let's go ahead and start to turn the mids up. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mids down to about 40% there. And let's go ahead and now hear the treble sound. It's really cool because even at minimum, you know, with no treble, you're still getting a fairly defined sound. But now let's go ahead and introduce more treble as we turn it up. From what I'm hearing in the room, that's a pretty bright sound on its own, but again, we have the addition of that brilliant channel. Now, thus far, we've turned the brilliant channel volume down, and we're only using the normal channel. So let's go ahead and flip that around. So I'm gonna turn the normal channel down and then turn the brilliant channel up so you can really hear the difference in sounds. Now, the brilliant channel is gonna be a little bit more thin sounding and a lot more sparkly and articulate. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the neck pickup on my guitar. It's so bright, and on most 4-input amps like the Marshall Plexi, the JTM 45s, the DR103s, to me, my opinion is that the brilliant channel or the bright channels are fairly unusable by themselves. And then that brings me to my point of how I like to use 4-input amps personally. So I like to use the normal channel to set my bass tone, maybe a little bit darker than the bass tone. And then I like to gradually bring in the brilliant channel so I can use it kind of like an EQ more so than an actual channel. So as we blend it in, we're gonna blend in a little more and a little more articulation and brightness. So let's go ahead, turn the brilliant channel down, and then we'll go up gradually from there. And now what I want to do is I want to kind of shift and use a different type of drive pedal. So I've turned off the Cyborg and I've turned on the Civil Math from Mask Audio Electronics, which is a big muff style pedal, and by itself sounds like this. And now what I want to do is turn on a Klon style pedal that has a little more mid-range focus to really push the front of the Civil Math. And what we're going to use is the Harby Pedals Centauri. The Centauri is set at pretty much unity volume. The drive is on about 60%, the tone is on about 40%. So here is without the Harby Centauri. So now I've plugged in my Squier Classic Vibe Jazzmaster. We've got humbuckers right here. These are the Gemini Pickups Tone Rangers. So they're wide range humbuckers in a Jazzmaster housing. And what we're doing is we're running into the same chain of effects. And so in this section, I chose this guitar because it's tuned all the way down to A sharp standard. And with this setup, I wanted to demonstrate how the Super 100 sounds with more low frequencies being put into it from a guitar. So let's go ahead and set all the EQs to noon. I'm on the mix setting, so we have both channels active if we want. I've got the Brilliant channel on nothing, and then the normal channel is the only one active. And I want to turn on the Cyborg. So this is what a rat into the Super 100 sounds like. That sounds pretty nasty right now, and I dig that. So from here, what we can do is, just like with a real amp, we can kind of fine tune the EQ, see what we like, see what we don't like. So let's go ahead and turn the Brilliant channel up to about 15% and see what that sounds like. I'm kind of digging that addition of that sparkliness of the Brilliant channel, especially on this guitar, because again, we're tuned all the way down to A sharp standard. So let's maybe dump a little bit of bass. So we're gonna turn the bass down to about 40%, and then maybe turn the treble up a little bit and see how that sounds. But actually, let's do that while we're playing. That sounded really good to my ears. So now let's go ahead and hear how the combination of the Civil Math and the Harby Centauri sounds. So now I've got my Squier Classic Vibe Precision Bass plugged into the same chain of effects. No drive pedals are on, And I wanted to showcase this on bass, not only because I like to include bass in pretty much all of my videos, but also the Super 100 is a very popular pedal largely in the bass community because the high watt amp is so powerful and it handles ultra low frequencies with such ease. So what I want to do to start out is turn the Brilliant channel down because I like my bass sounds to be really low and really warm. So let's hear how it sounds when we just have the EQs at 50% and the normal channel is the only one active. Let's go ahead and turn the bass up. I actually want to turn the normal volume up a little bit too. Now let's hear how the middle sounds. So I want to turn the middle all the way down first, just to hear how it sounds with a mid scoop. So I actually like the mid down at that a little bit lower than 50%, maybe like 40%. Now let's go ahead and hear how the treble sounds. So again, I want to start at the minimum and then go up from there. While I was dialing that in, I kind of had an idea to turn the treble all the way down and then gradually bring in that Brilliant channel to hear how that sounds. So what I did there was kind of counterintuitive with turning the treble all the way down and then using the Brilliant channel to bring in more treble, but I actually think it sounds really good. So now let's go ahead and kick on some gain from the Civil Math. That sounds really good to my ears. Let's go ahead and hear how the Cyborg sounds. So again, this is like a rat bass pedal. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Super 100 from Master Effects. If you did like this video and you want to learn more about the pedal or even purchase it, I'm going to leave a link to the Master Effects website in the description of this video. And while you're down there, if you're looking for any sort of other musical equipment or really anything, I've got affiliate links that help support the channel. I've got affiliate links to Sweetwater, Reverb, and Amazon. What those do is they take you directly to the site or a product on the site, and then anything you buy through those links helps support the channel because I get a small commission on anything you buy. It helps save you time, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to help support the channel. So again, check the description, subscribe if you like this video, maybe share it with a friend who is a bass player or a friend who likes high watt amps or a friend who's a guitar player and just likes guitar pedals, like you and I. I want to send a huge shout out to my Patreon fam, my supporters over on Patreon. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're staying safe. And most of all, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.